Trevs Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. Sweet. Anyway, continue with retired numbers. If you haven't noticed yet, I made a playlist just for the retired numbers. That way it's easier just to watch them all in succession if that's your thing. You'll still find them in the team playlists, but there's a separate one. But anyway, moving on. Today, we're talking about the first number retired in St. Louis. And it's not for a good reason, but it's retired nonetheless. Talking about number 3, Bob Gassoff. Let's check it out. Gassoff's career with St. Louis began when he was drafted by them in the 3rd round, 48th overall, by the St. Louis Blues on May 15th, 1973. And, well, he wasn't exactly a star defenseman, but he was a defenseman all the same. A left-handed shot defenseman. And for a guy who was 5'10", $190, he was tough. He was really tough. We'll get to the stats when we get there, but so he's not a superstar per se. He'd be what you would call the enforcer or the goon, if you want. The dying breed of roles to play in the NHL. For his first season, 1973-74 season, he split time between St. Louis and the Denver Spurs of the then WHL, which then became the CHL. But in the 28 games he managed to play in the big club in his debut season, no goals, 3 assists, and 84 penalty minutes. Now, I'm just going to say the penalty minutes is the far more impressive stat moving forward. And when we get to the career stats, we'll talk about that too. For the 74-75 season, the last season where he would split between St. Louis and Denver, he actually played a little more. Actually managed to play 60 games, which is a lot better than 28. And in those 60 games, 4 goals, 14 assists, and 18 points. With 222 penalty minutes. It's not bad at all. And he managed to make his dip into the playoffs. Playing 2 games, 0 points. And no penalty minutes, if you can believe that. For 75-76, there was no split in time. There was full season form. And, he didn't disappoint. 80 games, 1 goal, 12 assists. And 306 penalty minutes, your career high. 306. And in 3 games in the playoffs, no points, but 6 penalty minutes. So he finally registered some playoff penalty minutes, which is always awesome. 76-77, which turned out to be his last season. St. Louis was offensively his best season ever. 77 games, he scored 6 goals and 18 assists for 24 points, and bringing those penalty minute totals down to only 254. Only. You could tell these were definitely league-leading numbers in penalty minutes. In 4 playoff games, he managed to get his first and only playoff point with an assist to go with his 10 penalty minutes. So in 4 seasons in St. Louis, 245 games in the NHL, 11 goals, 47 assists for 58 points, and 866 penalty minutes. It's very impressive. In 9 playoff games, 1 point, and 16 penalty minutes. And as I said, this is the part where the story doesn't necessarily end well. So May 29th, 1977, Memorial Day weekend in the States. Bob and pretty much a few other teammates had a postseason barbecue near Gary Summit, Missouri. And you know what happens at barbecues, especially when there's motorbikes and booze. Things happen, and it was at this postseason barbecue where Bob was involved in a automobile collision which killed him instantly. Again, with these short stories, you kind of wonder what could have been. But at the same time, it's like, wow, you want to teach the lesson, drunk driving. That's what happens. But all in all, I mean, for a guy who was your prototypical enforcer in the 70s, chopped down before he even hit his prime. And like I said, when I was going over the stats, his numbers were improving. So he could have only gotten better, right? But you never know. You never know. So on October 1st, 1977, number 3 went up to the Raptors in St. Louis. Following this as well, posthumously, the Central Hockey League created the Bob Gassoff Trophy, which is awarded to the most improved defenseman. So the legacy lived on as long as the CHL did. The Central Hockey League, not the Canadian Hockey League, because it didn't last very long. But needless to say, the jersey retirement number was definitely done out of a respect. I mean, he was still blue at the time, so they did the right thing on my opinion. But again, you wonder what could have been. So I don't know what Trevs hockey shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're here. Works out well for both of us. So while you're here, hit that like. If you want, hit that red button that says subscribe. I want you to. I know you want to. Subscribe makes you feel good, and we're 20 away from 100. 20. 2-0. So let's get there. If you do this by the end of the year, that'd be a great thing. Socials in the description down below. Moving forward, one more retired number that's fairly easy peasy that I'll probably end up doing. But as far as the 21-22 season, I'm working on my division predictions. The problem is, where do you put anybody when a lot of everything is unpredictable? But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, you're looking for more videos from Trev. Later.